Silas finds a heartfelt way to honor his late friend Ivory's memory. He uses this unique approach to revive a struggling plant, which eventually blooms into something beautiful. As Silas prepares for a crucial exam, he meets Jamal, and they form an unlikely bond. Together, they discover a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose that helps them tackle the challenges ahead. As they sat together, Ivory's spirit appeared to them, promising to guide them towards academic success. With Ivory's ethereal support, Jamal and Silas aced their exams, achieving perfect scores. Their outstanding results sparked a frenzy of interest from top colleges nationwide, including the prestigious Harvard University. In the end, they both received acceptance letters from Harvard and decided to embark on their academic journey together at this iconic institution. As Jamal and Silas settled into their new life at Harvard, they soon found themselves introduced to Bart, a charismatic but slightly arrogant student. Bart dominated the conversation, boasting about his grandfather's statue, despite nobody having asked him about it. Meanwhile, Silas' attention wandered to Lauren, Bart's stunning girlfriend, and he became instantly smitten with her beauty. Jamal and Silas walked into their class, excited to see Dean Carl, a Native American instructor, standing at the front of the room. They enthusiastically acknowledged his heritage, expecting a warm response. However, Dean Carl remained stoic, ignoring their compliments. Jamal and Silas, taken aback by his indifference, began to poke fun at the situation, making light of the awkward exchange. Their humorous remarks quickly spread throughout the class, causing the entire room to erupt in hysterical laughter. Unfazed, Jamal decided to channel his energy into Harvard's sports teams, where he quickly made a name for himself. As Jamal's athletic prowess grew, so did the tension between him and Bart, who had been the star player until Jamal's arrival. As Jamal and Silas navigated the campus, they crossed paths with Gerald, a volunteer officer with a keen eye for troublemakers. Gerald's gaze narrowed as he warned the duo that he'd be keeping a close watch on them, likening his vigilance to that of a hawk. Undeterred, Jamal and Silas made their way to their dorm room, where they met their roommates. Jamal also introduced his friend, I Need Money, who had tagged along, adding to the dynamic of their newfound living space. The boys settle in, making their dorm room feel like home. Jamal walks in late into a history class, but quickly walks out when he finds the instructor isn't what he expected. And Silas joins him when the teacher asks them the name of the plant he is holding. Bart answers incorrectly and Silas gets it right, impressing the professor along with Lauren. The professor promises a guaranteed pass in his class on an experiment that will benefit mankind. I Need Money plays a prank on Gerald, which ends with Gerald's bicycle getting damaged, leaving him devastated. Jamal has a vivid daydream about his mom in class, which causes him to momentarily zone out and accidentally embarrass himself in front of the whole classroom. The duo take a test, with Ivory's help to make sure they ace it. Jamal locks eyes with Jamie, and he is immediately captivated by her beauty. However, their encounter is interrupted by her bodyguards, who reveal that Jamie is the vice president's daughter. Jamie intervenes, instructing her bodyguards to let Jamal speak his mind. As it turns, Jamie has a soft spot for charismatic individuals. At the end of the first semester, Jamal and Silas achieve academic excellence, earning all A's. Dean Carl is visibly displeased with their success. Silas seizes an opportunity to get to know Lauren better, joining her for a conversation. He inquires about her relationship with Bart, questioning why she's with someone so self-centered. Lauren explains that they've known each other since childhood and that Bart's family has been supportive of her education, enabling her to attend Harvard. Their conversation is cut short by Bart's arrival. Under the cover of night, the boys sneak into Dean Carl's office to execute a prank. They pour a substance on the floor, open the windows, and wait for birds to fly in and ingest the substance, which has an explosive and messy effect. The boys also steal the statue of Bart's grandfather, a cherishful family heirloom. The next morning, Dean Carl is shocked to find his office in disarray, with bird droppings covering every surface. The destruction is so severe that he barely recognizes his own office. Meanwhile, Bart is devastated by the theft of his family's legacy statue and breaks down in tears. The boys start planning the most epic party Harvard has ever seen. As a precursor to the festivities, Silas whips up a batch of brownies and adds a mysterious ingredient. He leaves the brownies at Dean Carl's door with a cryptic note that leads the dean to believe they're from his old-school mom, a phrase that only adds to the enigma. Next, the boys take to the streets to spread the word about the upcoming party, inviting everyone they meet to join the weekend's lit celebration. As the evening wears on, the dean's behavior takes a surprise turn. Under the influence of the mysterious brownies, he lets loose and starts dancing wildly in front of his stunned colleagues. Meanwhile, at the party, Bart makes an off-color comment that crosses a line, causing Lauren to storm off and reevaluate their relationship. Silas seizes the opportunity to console Lauren, and they start to form a connection. As the party reaches its peak, Silas plays matchmaker for his geeky roommates, arranging for them to meet some lovely ladies. The night is shaping up to be one for the books. Gerald sneaks into the party, searching for something incriminating in Silas and Jamal's room. Instead, he stumbles upon Ivory's mysterious plant. Unaware of its significance, Gerald helps himself to the plant and tests it all. This reckless act summons Ivory's presence. Meanwhile, back at the party, chaos erupts with the arrival of Baby Powder and his associate. They wreak havoc, causing destruction and pandemonium. The party-goers scramble to escape the mayhem, marking the abrupt end of the party. The next morning, the group receives summons to the dean's office. They're met with the consequences of their actions: academic probation for hosting an unauthorized party. However, this news is soon eclipsed by a more devastating revelation. Ivory is gone, and with him, their guaranteed future at Harvard. Their roommates, though, refuse to let them give up. With words of encouragement, they urge Jamal and Silas to explore alternative options and find a way to stay at Harvard. Undeterred by their academic probation, the boys embark on an intense self-study regimen. Despite their tireless efforts, they receive a dismal report card with F's in every subject. Dean Carl is overjoyed by their misfortune. Refusing to give up, the boys concoct a bizarre plan. They exhume the corpse of a deceased genius, hoping to create a modern-day Ivory, a being with unparalleled cognitive abilities. However, their macabre experiment ends in a catastrophic failure. Jamal prepares for the worst, bracing himself for the potential consequences of their actions. Silas, however, remains focused on his chemistry project, pouring all his energy into making it a success. The school hosts an exclusive event, and Dean Carl deliberately excludes Silas and Jamal from the guest list. Undeterred, they manage to gain entry as the vice president's plus ones. Silas showcases his project, which unexpectedly releases a potent substance that induces a euphoric state in everyone present, except for Dean Carl. The atmosphere in the room shifts dramatically, with people loosening up and having a great time. Lauren takes the opportunity to announce her joint project with Silas, the bong. Dean Carl's expression turns livid with rage. In a surprising turn of events, Silas receives his pass for his project, and Jamal is allowed to stay at Harvard to complete his studies. Meanwhile, Dean Carl faces the consequences of his own actions and is ousted from the institution.